Hey, I am so stressed out. My teenager just came to me and he was in tears because something about his Minecraft world was destroyed. I did not understand it. But Sylvia, I am so glad to see you. This is your little brother. He's totally falling apart. I think we should just no more Minecraft for him. Like he should not be so emotionally invested in this game. Help me out here. Am I
Okay,
crazy? I mean, hey
no,
guys, we're
you're
just
not
starting
crazy.
with this story here. And this is my daughter, Sylvia Meredith, who's a digital native. And I have recruited her today to help myself and those of you others who are digital immigrants trying to navigate parenting when we didn't grow up with this. So that story is a true story. And Sylvia did help me through that. That was a couple years ago, wasn't it, Sylvia?
Yes, okay. Well, I'll just go ahead and get started with what I'm going to
Yeah,
talk
let's
about. But
just.
in the meantime, speaking of digital immigrants and digital natives, Mom, can you make sure that I'm allowed to share my screen for this presentation?
Oh, I forgot that. See, I knew we didn't go through the whole checklist properly.
Mom,
Sorry,
okay,
everyone.
so what I'm going to talk about today, I am hopefully going to give you a presentation that is
I
super
think I
comforting.
think you're good. See if you can share now.
Okay, I'm hopefully going to give a presentation that is relatively comforting. Um, and I'm going to, like my mom led in with, I'm going to talk about your kids and how easily they get upset about video game related things. So here's a scenario that I guarantee you, if you got kids with video games, you probably recognize one of these. Your kid dies in a Minecraft game and just has a meltdown like my younger brother did. Maybe if they're playing with online teammates, they might start screaming about how their teammates are terrible players or they're letting them down.
Heard
Or,
that too. Yep.
oh, yeah, pretty common. Your kid's bitter when you interrupt him for something or can't beat a level and starts dealing with it by like throwing his controller across the room. So at least the question, if you got kids with video games, what is it about video games that turns your kids into monsters?
That's the question. What is it? Yes, I've
Okay.
asked that very question.
All right. So for your reaction when your kid acts that way is this is not healthy. So I'd like to just start my presentation by saying, oh, you're right. Your kids should not act like that. Your kids should not throw their controllers when they can't beat a level. And if your video game loving kid struggles with emotional control, and if they struggle with prioritizing things like kindness or their homework or their chores, one of the big premises of my presentation is that it's not because the video games themselves have um, infused your kid with rudeness. It's just because your kids are still kids. They
Right.
still need to learn. So video games are definitely foreign, but parenting is still going to be the same. So I'm just going to talk about two different things. I'm going to talk about emotional control, and I'm going to talk about um, making it the right priorities in life. And I'm hopefully just going to show you how they're similar to all these other parts of parenting.
Right. So, Sylvia, this is fantastic. I'm so glad that you were willing to take on
Oh,
this beast of a topic. And just want to emphasize to parents, you're not alone. If you're just joining us, pick up a sandwich and stick with us for your lunch break. We're just got a brief presentation to help parents navigate the craziness of this digital age of parenting. And so, Sylvia's got some great tips for us. And so, keep going, Sylvia.
yeah. And again, this is very brief. There are books about this, there are
Yeah.
articles about this. Um, so, first thing I'm going to talk about is emotional control. How do you deal with people around you who are incompetent? How do you respond? Oh,
Wait,
Mom,
did you
I'm sure
mean
you've
that
never had
most
this
people
problem.
around, like, are you saying that as adults we interact with people who don't know what they're doing? Is that what you mean? Okay, are you
Yeah.
saying that
Oh,
you
yeah.
want me to train my kids up to be able to deal with people who are clueless,
Oh,
especially
yeah. You think these
people who
problems
don't
are
know they're
only specific to
clueless?
video games?
Yeah,
No.
they're not. Yeah.
No, these problems are not unique to video games, and they're not uniquely frustrating in video games. They are
Right.
frustrating in many areas of life. So, whenever Sam had his meltdown about my Minecraft, sorry, we told Mom, we were like, "Listen, Mom, you would understand if he dropped a Lego set
Right.
and this project that he spent hours working on was just destroyed before his very eyes." And of course it's not real. Of course we don't want our kids to be sad about that. We don't want our kids to be fragile about dropping their toys. but their disappointment is real, and you can address frustrations in video games the same way that you can address their just frustrations in
Right.
general.
And I love how you helped me through that. That was some years back that one of the Meredith kids, as Sylvie said, really did have a true emotional. I mean, he was in the pit of despair. And to my mind, as a digital immigrant, I'm like, it's just a stupid video game. That's literally what's going through my head. And so thankfully, his big sister came to the rescue and said, Mom, wouldn't you understand it? That's exactly what you said, Sylvia. I remember you said, what if he spent hours making a Lego set and dropped it? You would understand his disappointment and you would be able to. It is like that if you're playing Minecraft, or and maybe I guess if you lose a League of Legends game, I don't know exactly because I don't play League of Legends, but I'm trying to. I love how you're summarizing.
Of course, it's not real, but
not real, but the disappointment is real.
Kids are going to cry over the spilled ice cream. It's part of being a kid. Yeah. And I think you can speak more to this, Mom, because even though I'm less scared of video games, so to speak. You're a better mom than I am. I've had not very much experience. I don't have any kids.
Well, exactly. And if you missed, guys, if you're just tuning in and you missed our series, this is number 10 in a series. And yesterday's was amazing. I got to interview Ruth Grunstra, a parenting coach, talking specifically about how to help your kids grow into emotional maturity, how to listen to them. So again, it's a brief webinar today, but check that out yesterday, that recording of Ruth Grunstra specifically. She and I got into these, what you're right, Sylvie, they're parenting questions. Digital games are new. Parenting is as old as dirt. So yeah, keep going. I love how you said just teach them how to grow and continue on. Listen to them. Listen to them. Yeah.
Just tell your kids, like, if your kids know that when they get upset about something and frustrated about something, that you're going to care about them, it'll go a long way, not just in video games, but in their whole life. And of course, you don't want to leave them in the pit of despair. You don't want to encourage them to cry all day if they die in Minecraft. You can teach them. And I'm sure, Mom, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to speak to about.
No, I mean, just the reality, that old age-old phrase, don't cry over spilled milk. And yet the other half of that is it's appropriate and good to say, oh, that is disappointing. I can see why you're sad that your milk spilled, that your Minecraft guy died, that you dropped your Lego set, right? So when we teach our kids to get up and move on, dry it up, so to speak, there's also an important identify with them because we've been sad as adults, right? So don't coddle them. Don't say, yes, let's be sad all day because the Lego set is broken. I mean, that's not parenting. Parenting is, oh, wow, that is disappointing. And now how are we going to get some, this is what Ruth and I got into yesterday.
How are we going to
asking questions, like getting your kid to own it. Like say to your kid, what I want the kid to think is this is nothing like having dad in the hospital or whatever true crisis, right? But you don't lead with that. If the kid is 8 or even if the kid is 17, you don't lead with, well, this isn't that bad. I mean, that shuts them out. I mean, the first comment is, oh, wow, help me understand why this is sad if you don't understand, right? And would you agree, Sylvie, that's a good lead in?
That sounds perfect, Mom. All right. So the other thing I was going to talk about is just personal priorities. And this is another thing that video games highlight, but they're not unique to video games themselves. Just asking the questions, how do I know I'm valuable? Where can I place my personal worth? It is so easy for your kids to decide that their value depends on their performance in a video game. So easy. But just because video games are especially alluring doesn't mean that your kids wouldn't misplace their value if they didn't have video games. I don't know if there's a better way to say that, but I will use my college friends as examples in a bad way, which, oh, bless their hearts. I have many college friends who have grown into a mindset that their value of a person depends on how well they do in school. And it makes them look pretty productive. Like, dang, if they're getting all A's in schools, you're like, my kid is living the life. But I've seen them just break down when they get a B+ in an exam. And I've seen them change majors because they couldn't handle taking a class they knew they were going to struggle in. Wow. I don't want to say that video games versus school, that one of them's like worse than the other. I don't know. I'm sure it's.
So I think what your point here is just that video games are one more opportunity for us as parents to help our kids grow into lifelong, mature adults who have a well-balanced life, and it's
Yeah, just
100%
well
normal for
balanced.
kids to be childish. I mean, that's some
Very
of what
normal.
we have been talking about through this whole series. Is you're in this for the long game, parents. You're in this for a lifelong
Oh
relationship
yeah.
with your kid, and that means don't throw up unnecessary barriers. I mean, I can tell you the level truth when I had the teenager meltdown about or preteen, whatever age it was, meltdown about Minecraft, I wanted to go pull the plug. And if the good Lord didn't give me a
All
wise,
right, we're uninstalling Minecraft.
yeah, I mean, like, but that would have put such a barrier, unnecessarily a barrier between me and that kid, because like we've said, like I didn't, and even now I don't really care that much about Minecraft, but I care about my kids, and so my kids care about Minecraft. Ergo, I care about Minecraft. And so even now I've gotten better about just walking up behind them over their shoulder saying, hey, what are you building? What's that in Minecraft? How does that work? Because I care about them. And it's, oh, mom, sure, I'll show you. Come here, look here. And whereas when I was a kid, come here, look here meant walking around, and still does. Get your kids outside. I'm a fan of that. Absolutely. Get your kids outside, throw frisbees and things. But I mean, digital world, it's not inherently bad just because it's digital. Just because go here, look here means the kid is clicking and moving the virtual Minecraft person. No, I love this, Sylvia, because when you summed it up, video games are especially alluring, but the decision of where to invest your time and energy, that's again an age-old challenge of the
Yeah,
parent.
and your goal, having a well-balanced kid, remains the same. Yeah.
And it remains not easy.
It
So
remains not easy. That's true. But I'm sure I'm sure pretty much everyone here can think of like a friend they had in high school or something who misplaced their value in like their girlfriend or boyfriend. I've got the little Valentine's Day box here. Valentine's Day is coming up. But so whether it's your little sweetheart or whether it's school or whether it's video games, there are so many opportunities, so many examples that we can show you of kids not, or like adults not knowing, not being well balanced, not placing their priorities in the right thing, not placing their own sense of self in the right things. And so how you approach video games, and I wish I could give you all the answers real quick.
There are no all the answers real quick.
No, there's no such thing as all the answers real quick.
You as a mom or dad have your personality type. Your kid has his own person. You're going to have this play-by-play. So if you would, Sylvia, pause sharing the screen and let's just finish up this conversation. We're going to take questions, guys. So if you have questions, type them into the chat, type them into Facebook Live. But I think we have another panelist.
We do. So now that I have...
No, it's just a quick at the end. Yeah. Who was Abby, by the way, is monitoring the chat. And was there somebody else, I think?
Oh, yeah. I just thought that I would
introduce yourself.
do a little demonstration. Yeah, absolutely. My name is Sarah. Let me hold on and I will turn on my video for you.
Sarah, welcome. So good to have you here at the end.
Yeah. So as you can see,
Sarah? Wow, you're not Sarah. Okay.
Maybe I'm not Sarah. So I will,
wow.
for those of you who it might sound very weird, or for those of you who are confused, I'll go
ahead and turn off my voice changer. So I just thought that it would be kind of a fun little demonstration for you all.
Fun or terrifying.
So I spent about 15 minutes this morning and I downloaded and installed and set up that voice changer for you guys. And that's about how much time it takes and how much effort to change your voice to sound like somebody else.
Do it again. So just with a click of a button, you can start sounding like Sarah. So that's a little surreal.
Yep, I can just.
Oh, wow. And who else can you sound like, by the way?
There are a lot of different voices that I could do. I can try some of them, but that one's probably the best.
The best example of how confusing, because guys, if you missed it, we've had numerous previous sessions about how kids interact online and digital communication. And part of that includes voice chatting. And a big part of the digital world is it is ridiculously easy for the bad guys to pretend to be somebody else. For example, for your kid to get a request on Facebook or some other social media platform that's not for us old people. I know Facebook is branded for old people, but whatever social media your kids are on, they can get a friend request from somebody who looks like Peter that sounds like Sarah. Right, Peter?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the point.
It's very easy for that to happen.
And
I
not just sounds like, but like looks like in terms of they can put a fake picture of Sarah on the Facebook.
right.
So we just are using the Voice Changer app as an example of this whole universe of danger. Talk more about that, Peter, about training your kids to be cautious around.
Yeah. So it's very important, and your kids will find it hard to understand. Um, but that's one of your jobs, to help them be aware of the dangers of the world. And one of the dangers of the online world is you really don't have any way of telling whether or not somebody is real, or who they say they are, unless you've met them in real life.
IRL is the phrase,
Yep.
right? In real life. So
So
a good household rule is don't friend someone online unless they are friends IRL in real life. Now, previously in another session, we talked about maybe some kind of inter-game communication on strategy. I mean, there are, I don't want to say exceptions. It's just complicated. It's not a black and white rule, but to Peter's
yes.
point.
So there are many opportunities to connect with other people online. And those are not inherently bad, but what your kid really needs to understand is online friends are very different than real life friends, and you have to treat them differently.
Oh,
You
that's
don't
great.
go into
Online
private,
friends are different than, yes.
you don't go into private chat groups. You don't, send them private messages and things like that, because that is where bad things start to happen. That's when they get in and get access. So, and
Right.
I would like to highlight that for some of you, maybe my voice changer did not sound amazing, but the better equipment you have, so if I bought a better microphone, or if whoever's listening to it has a better speaker, it only sounds more convincing. And it's pretty
And
scary.
click that button again while you're talking, just so we can see
Sure,
how
I'll
quick
go ahead and
that it is for you to sound like something else, because I know it's Facebook Live, people are coming in and out.
This is my little voice changer that I've created to hopefully make me sound like a lady, but it's not very hard to set up, and it's very quick and easy.
Yeah. So again, like we mentioned, stories of many sad, true stories of like popular high school girls getting friend requests from other high school girls, which turned out to be either male predators or competitive girls who then solicited sexual images. Guys, if I'm freaking you out, you need to be freaked out. It is a terribly scary world out there. And if this is news to you, start paying attention, because kids' lives have been ruined. So with that, I want to ask Abby if we have any questions, because I know it's already past 12:15, and we will take questions till the bottom of the hour on anything really. I've got here two very educated adults who are digital natives who grew up with this technology. What have we got, Abby?
Hey, we've got two quick questions. The first one, I guess, is more for Peter. So can anyone access these apps? Are these like free for all, or is this?
Yep, it's free. Just do a Google search, voice changer, probably the first thing that comes up. You download, get a free trial for 7 days, or pay $10 and there you go, have it for your life.
Wow.
So,
okay, cool. I think that
pretty
answers
easy.
that.
Wow.
And then real quick, I guess, Allison, this is probably geared more towards you and Sylvia. Do you have practical ideas on affirming kids' value aside from games and school?
Absolutely. You want to answer that, Sylvia, or I've got some ideas?
Oh, I'm sure you've got the best ideas, but one thing that helps is make sure they know their family loves them, and make sure they know they have a good support in their family. Make sure you take them on hiking trips and camping trips. I think that is not a be all end all, but I think it helps.
No, that's great, Sylvia. And Abby, the question was, how do you affirm your kids' value? Was that the question?
Yeah. So Lisa was wondering, practical ideas for affirming kids' value aside from games and school.
Right. So that's a great question. And I love the question, because that's what we want to do as parents, is affirm their value. So for example, if there's a lesson that they did and they didn't get an A, they got a C, how do you affirm their value? So your lead comment is, I can see that you really worked hard on this. Now that's assuming you can see that they worked hard. Don't lie. If they got a C or a D or an F because they scrapped through it, then instead of saying, I can see you really worked hard on it, your comment is, wow, it's so important to me that you learn. Do you know why that's important to me? And the very fact that you're asking that question affirms their value. And they might say, no, I don't care. I don't. And you can just say, that's fine. You don't. It kind of makes me sad that you don't care, but I'd like to tell you why I care. Can I do that? And in worst case, the kid says, no, Ask him again the next day. Be persistent. But when he eventually says, well, all right, if you just really want to tell me, well, why do you care if I learn? Say, well, I just, as an adult, look, kids, always go to the shoot yourself. That is always a good way to show vulnerability. So like you could say, for example, when I was a kid, I failed more than one class, or I messed up on more than one assignment, or whatever is true for you. And now that I'm an adult, I realize, gosh, I really didn't value my education when I was 12 or 8 or 15 or whatever age of the kid you're talking with. Say your kid's age. But now, looking back, I wish that when I was 16 years old, I had really taken advantage of, for example, my American Lit teacher. I mean, she was awesome and I really blew off all of her assignments. But now I wish so that's how I think you affirm your kids' value, by simply asking them questions. When they don't answer because there's a wall, don't quit. Don't give up. You're in this for the long game. Don't start just spouting off like a fire extinguisher. Instead, you just say, oh, well, I have some things I'd like to share. Maybe tomorrow. And then chew your tongue, chew your tongue. And then the next day you come back and say, hey, remember when I asked you if I could share? Are you ready yet? And it might take 5 days. It might take 5 weeks. Right? I mean, Peter, Sylvie, would you agree that that's some good advice in terms of, I'm trying to paint worst case scenario. How do you affirm your kids' value if there's already a barrier? And hopefully it'll be even easier if there's not a barrier in the parent-child relationship.
Definitely. Yeah, I think if you treat your kids like their value isn't tied to anything external to them, then that'll also go a long ways.
Right. And they see it in how you spend your time too. So a big way they affirm their value is, do you go through, like to Sylvie's point, go hiking, go camping, go throw a Frisbee with them, sit and read a book on the couch with them. And by the way, parents, we all have seasons. If you're in a season where your career or your work is just slamming you and you're not giving the time you need, then say it. Then say to your kids, hey, Johnny, I have not been giving you that. I am not personally satisfied with how much time I'm giving you. I just want you to know that. I love it when we played Frisbee last Saturday, and I'm trying to change my schedule so that we have more time to, what would you like to do? And ask. And that right there affirms their value.
Yep.
Yeah. What other questions? Or Peter, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say it's important to help them know that you care about them. You don't care about what they're good at. Now, you do care about what they're good at, but you don't care about them because they're good at certain things. You don't care about them because they're good at getting A's in school, or you don't care about them because they're good at playing football. You don't care about them because they're good at video games,
which is
right?
a hard distinction.
You care about them, and it is a little bit of a distinction. And if you have that mindset and you think about that mindset, then the way you interact with your kids will change, and they will start to understand that you care about them. Their value is not tied to
their
a good grade.
performance.
Now, it still is valuable to get good grades and to work hard and to develop all these great habits that will hopefully carry on to their adult life. But as a parent, we have to help our kids understand that, okay, it's okay if you fail, right? That's not where your value is, right? Your value is in being my kid.
Right. It reminds me of something that I think one of your uncles said to you once. I think I'd emailed something one of y'all did, and I think
Yes.
your uncle replied and said, I am now 0.1% more proud of you, or something really. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So just affirming he's always proud of you. So,
right.
So what other questions do we have, Abby? We'll stay on the line here another 5 minutes, guys. So just throw your questions up about anything with digital communication and online interactions. Parenting in this crazy age is a little new. Or to Sylvie's point, parenting's not new, but sorry, I'm rambling. Go ahead, Abby.
I was just going to say, it looks like that's a wrap right now on the questions. Hopefully people will email you if they have more.
Okay. All right, great. Well, we've got a few more minutes. Sylvia, would you just share your slides again about the Legos? I would just love to end on that note, if you don't mind, because I think this is a very helpful place to kind of conclude our conversation, is that when your kids are upset, and you can just flip back through them, that's fine. But just when your kids are really upset and they're like, I'm so mad at this person playing a game, or that I just lost my Minecraft world, or whatever it is. You said it best, Sylvie. Talk about how it's almost like we parents are asking the wrong questions. How do we ask the right questions?
How do you ask the right questions? Just ask what you can do to teach your kid how to grow, and don't look at it like You know, I think our two recitations went well together. I'm sort of here to comfort you guys. Peter's here to freak you out. So
I think so,
I'll
yeah.
stick with my comforting script here, but don't panic about all of the evil that's like being mind controlled into your child's head. Just be willing to put in the hard work to teach your kid how to address these things in life, how to address incompetent people, how to address frustrated plans, how to address difficult problems or impossible problems in some cases. Put in the effort. If you love your kids and if you are willing to show your kids that you care about their frustrations, and if you're willing to work hard, then I think you'll come out on top. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best video game related advice I can give you, and it's not even about video games.
Great, excellent. Well said. Thank you. Any final thoughts from you, Peter?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is really awesome because it's not just kids. Lots of people struggle with where they place their values. And if you as a parent can transform a video game from being somewhere where your kids seek and find their value to become a way for them to learn that this is not what defines who I am, or this is not what makes me special, is, you know, I think that could be really powerful, and you can even turn it into into a positive that will really help your kids for the rest of their life.
Absolutely. Fantastic. All right. Well, you know where to find us. And so thank you for joining us here with Holston and Garner IT. Listen, we care a lot about your kids. We get these kind of questions about how to parent kids in a digital age all the time. So we're just delighted to have brought this to you. Please share it with your friends and ask us again, and maybe we'll do another series like this. All right. I'll sign off for now. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.